You could be one of the Illinoisans with millions in unclaimed cash and property in your name. The state treasurer hopes to return money to you today. Our iCash telethon is now open.
Plus, an animal adoption event returns to the state line. How much fees will be reduced at the Winnebago County Animal Shelter?
And two Belvedere businesses looking to bring smiles to kids this holiday season. How they're making sure letters are making their way to Santa's workshop.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. Thank you for being here. Tonight at 5, you could have unclaimed money or property and not even know it.
Unclaimed property includes forgotten bank accounts, unpaid life insurance benefits, perhaps the contents of safe deposit boxes. That all gets turned over to the state treasurer. There's more than $3.5 billion that could be back in the wallets of the rightful owners. And today you can find out if you have any cash or property just by calling in. We're hosting an iCash telethon with the Illinois State Treasurer. This is a look at our phone bank. You can see the representatives there answering calls. All you need to do is call the number there on your screen. It's going to be up throughout the entire newscast. And if you can't call right now, it will be back up throughout our shows for the next few hours. We'll check in with the treasurer a little bit later.
Tonight, Winnebago County deputies arrest a man following a car chase across the Rockford area. The sheriff's office says deputies were near Kishwaukee and Sainer Avenue last night when they saw a car reported stolen. Deputies followed that car to US 20 to 90 and then eventually getting off the Highway 173. The driver hitting speeds more than 90 miles per hour. Then a chase began through the neighborhoods. According to court records, stop sticks were used to deflate the car's tires near Alpine and Spring Creek. Authorities say this man, Ronald Ramirez, was a driver. He was arrested and faces a long list of charges. He is in the Winnebago County Jail tonight.
Local vendors impacted by the shortened stroll on state are getting compensated for their losses. Go Rockford will refund all permit fees and waiting food vendor commissions for stroll on state. The annual event was forced to reduce operations Saturday due to that first big winter storm of the season. The Rockford area got about 8 inches of snow Saturday. Organizers say they'll give back over $13,000 in fees to help out the local vendors who didn't get as much business as they'd planned for. Your hard-earned tips could continue to be taxed. Illinois is among a handful of states who opted out of the no tips on taxes provision laid out in the One Big Beautiful Act.
Eyewitnesses reporter Stephen Lewandowski spoke with a tax expert today. Stephen, what does this mean for Illinois tipped workers?
Wendell, many tipped workers were looking forward to a potential tax break from the provision in the One Big Beautiful Bill. The provision proposed a $25,000 deductible exemption on tipped income. The state will not be opting into the no tax on tips provision. For workers, they should still see the same or similar amounts paycheck to paycheck since no change was put in place. I spoke with certified public accountant Patrick Tours. He explains how the tax filing will vary between state and federal level.
When you go to file your Illinois return, you would start with your federal adjusted gross income, which is before anything is being considered for tax on tips. So on the federal side, it's still income. You just get a deduction from it, from that income before you're actually taxed federally. Whereas in Illinois, it's still income just like on the federal side. There just is no deduction for the amount of qualifying tips that you earned.
Some good news for tipped workers. Tours said just because there won't be a no tax on tips doesn't mean you'll be paying more taxes. You won't. Wendell?
Stephen, thank you. A local animal shelter wants to give pets a warm home this holiday season, but they need your help. The Winnebago County Animal Services is hosting its Empty the Shelter event. It's sponsored by the Bissell Pet Foundation with more than 300 shelters participating nationwide. So starting tomorrow, select dogs and kittens and cats will be available for reduced adoption fees. Staff there tells us it's important to educate people about misconceptions regarding adoption fares.
People think that just because a pet is adopted for a lower price, that means it may not end up in the best of hands. Fortunately, those studies have shown that that's not necessarily the case, and that people are still going through all the regular processes to adopt. Then that means that usually the same outcomes are being found. So this reduced fee just kind of helps us get the information out there, but we found no correlation that it leads to pets ending up in the wrong hands or the wrong situations.
The adoption event begins tomorrow. Dog adoption fees are reduced to $50. Kittens are $25 and adult cats are only $10.
Honoring those spending the holiday season serving our country. Local Vietnam veterans put up a memorial wreath at Midway Village's LZ Peace Memorial Wall. It recognizes veterans as well as military members currently serving. The wreath is put up during the holiday season every year. 69 individual bulbs light the display, each in honor of a Vietnam veteran who died. Organizers say it's important for community members to honor our local service members.
Visit here and remember, and then thank them, be grateful for their service, because, veterans are always serving, and even after it's over, it ain't over. They're still dealing with the things that happen in war.
The memorial wreath was donated by Didier Greenhouses.
A pair of Belvedere businesses are looking to give children some holiday cheer this season. They'll make sure your kids' Christmas letters make it to Santa. Eyewitness
News reporter Rico Holland found out how they plan to get that done. Rico?
So Mimi, Wendell, while Santa's working hard to get ready for Christmas, these Belvedere businesses are collecting letters to Santa to make sure their letters are getting answered. TJ Farms and Rivers Edge Recreation Center both put out Santa mailboxes this week. Kids write a letter or bring their own from home, sharing what they want for Christmas. Rivers Edge says they typically receive 50 to 60 letters each year. Athletic supervisor Taylor Coconarder says it's fun to see each kid drop off their letter.
So I think it's fun because they get to be creative in their letters with drawing little pictures, asking for different toys that maybe mom and dad, they don't ask mom and dad for, they want to ask Santa for.
Coming up at 6, hear from the owner of TJ Farms on her inspiration to have a Santa mailbox this year. Mimi, Wendell.
Thank you very much.
There's still time to call in to today's iCash Telethon.
After the break, we're going to hear from the Illinois State Treasurer himself about how much money has been given back so far.
Our temperatures only made their way up to that freezing mark, 32 degrees, but we are going to be a far cry from that heading into tomorrow. How quickly we can see our numbers dip towards zero tonight, and how long that Arctic chill sticks around, coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Sports Director Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Right now, the phones are ringing. Our phone bank with the Illinois Treasurer's Office is underway. The people that you see there with headsets are there to take your calls to find out if you have any unclaimed cash or property. And joining me now here in the studio is the Illinois Treasurer, Michael Frerichs. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. We really appreciate it.
Mimi, thank you for having me. We're going to return hundreds of thousands of dollars to your viewers today. Very excited, especially going into the holiday season.
Yeah, it's a perfect time to return funds, isn't it?
Yeah. It's great to return to individuals, but it's great to return to businesses and nonprofits as well. That's something a lot of people don't know about our missing money program.
Which is something that you did during our four, surprising the Community Foundation of Northern Illinois with a nice big check.
They do a lot of good out there for people, for organizations throughout Northern Illinois. We want to do some good for them. We looked them up and found over $3,000 that we're able to return to them, and we know they're going to put it to good use and help out a lot of people's neighbors out there.
So with a nonprofit like that, how does that money end up in your office?
So in their case, maybe they had written a check to someone who didn't cash it or so, but maybe someone else was sending a check to them that got lost in the mail. Maybe it looked like junk mail and it got thrown out. There could be any number of reasons why people don't claim their money or cash their checks, but just because you don't cash that check doesn't mean the company gets to keep it. It still belongs to you, and we're fighting every day. About every day we're in the office, we return about $1 million to people in Illinois.
That's incredible. And you also surprised the Winnebago County Animal Shelter last year with a great big check.
Yeah, so there was someone who named an animal shelter as a beneficiary of their life insurance policy. The bad news is when they passed away, the animal shelter was unaware of it. And so we audited the life insurance company, found that money, were able to honor their last wishes by getting over $200,000 to help out.
Wow, what a big surprise that is, especially for a shelter that could use those funds.
Oh, they gave me a tour and they showed me a new roof that they needed to put on. They weren't sure how they were going to find it. And so it's especially this time of year, I like to tell people as person in charge of unclaimed property, I get to play Santa Claus 365 days a year, but it's even more special here in December.
That's got to be the best part of your job.
It really is. I ran because we also help people save for college. We help them save for their children with disabilities, for retirement. But just giving away money, returning money, fighting on behalf of people is one of the best parts of my job.
So for our viewers at home who may want to find out if they have any unclaimed property, they call into the number that's there on the screen. What kind of information do they then need to provide?
Yeah, we provide your name, your address, some previous addresses. We can look, and then we'll ask for your Social Security number to verify that it's actually you. There are identity thieves out there, but your Social Security number is unique. But if you aren't able to call in, we've had about twice the calls so far in the first hour as we compared to last year. If you aren't able to call in, you can go to our website, icash.illinoistreasurer.gov, and do a search for yourself. We find about 1 in 4 people who go to our website find we have something that belongs to them.
They can look through the list by entering that information.
They can put their name in there in that simple database, but check for yourself, check for your family members. If you have deceased family members, not every parent tells all of their children all of the places they've stored their money. And when they have passed away, that money gets turned over to us. We would like to get it to their rightful heirs, to their children or their grandchildren. And if you don't check,
you never know.
We may not send you a check.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael Frericks. We appreciate you joining us. Well, we'll be back with a really cold forecast. Temperatures expected to drop below 0 overnight. Jordan will let us know how long that will last. The full forecast coming up next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Some light precipitation earlier this afternoon and into the early part of the evening as well. Most of that coming down in the light form of some flurries, but even a few brief patches of some drizzle or some freezing drizzle were detected by some of the airport observations. Most of that now off to our south and to our southeast with a clearing sky back behind it. Still a couple patches of some flurries can't be completely ruled out until we clear out more of that cloud cover. But the bigger story is going to be the drop in our temperatures. As our sky clears, we are going to see a significant drop in the temperature as Arctic high pressure starts to take hold. Starting to get a little bit of that clearing showing up with our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera overlooking Beloit, Wisconsin, still holding on to a few patches of clouds. But look at where our temperatures are up to the north and northwest with that high pressure in place. Down to the teens and single digits not too far away, and that Arctic cold front starting to sweep through the area, and that is quickly dropping our temperatures locally from the 20s very quickly, soon to be in the teens. 28 still in DeKalb, 29 in Dixon, 27 in Rockford, but 25 in Janesville and Monroe. Already down to 21 out in Galena. So here's how our wind chill will play into that over the next 36 hours or so. Overnight tonight with the wind in place, our wind chills will be likely close to about -15. For tomorrow's afternoon, we may see those briefly dip close to or just above 0, but it'll still feel pretty cold even though our air temperature will return back above 0 for tomorrow afternoon. Thursday night, then we are back again right around -5 or so, and then we see those numbers climb pretty significantly heading into Friday. So overnight tonight, air temperature down to -2, a few flurries early on, then bitter cold sets in. Wind still remains in place, but it does ease up quite a bit going into tomorrow afternoon as that high pressure will be centered directly overhead. So while our air temperature may end up a little bit on the cooler side for tomorrow, we may not see quite as significant of a drop in those wind chill values with that much lighter wind, only about 5 miles per hour. So 11 for tomorrow's afternoon high. We get some sunshine as well that may at least bring a couple spots into the teens. As we head through the weekend and even early next week, we're going to be right on the edge of some Arctic air once again. That'll be mostly centered to our north, where you see these blues and even those white colors up to the north of that. Much milder air than down to the south. So with that sharper gradient, that cutoff from cool to warm air right overhead, we'll likely see somewhat of an active pattern setting up, and that'll bring several rounds of some weather systems our direction in the form of some clipper systems is what they're called, as they clip the area from the north and the northwest. Those will likely push through the area, nearly one of them every single day, so that's why you see nearly every day have at least some form of a precipitation chance. Temperatures will still be in the 20s after tomorrow, 11 degrees there, then 23. We rebound to the mid-20s for Saturday, sticking with the low 20s, and then we see a more significant warm-up, even closer to the mid-30s by this time next week.
Thank you, Jordan.
Scott's in next with sports.
He'll fill us in on some local football players who made their college choices today official, including one who will play for the Fighting Illini.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
The college football signing period is broken up into two segments, one in February and one this week, which opened up today. And the guy making the biggest splash in the state line was Davon Grant. The DeKalb senior signed with the Fighting Illini. Grant broke DeKalb's school record for career receptions and career receiving yards. And at 6'4", he's an imposing target when he splits out at receiver. Grant announced way back in January that he would join the Fighting Illini. He stuck to that all this time because he's a big fan of Brett Bielema and Bielema's coaching staff.
Coach being coach and the wide receiver coach Step, yeah, those two played a big part. You know, having them give me the offer very, very early was a blessing. You know, I was very, very happy, and you know that told me that these two see things in me that I haven't seen in myself yet. So it gave me hope, and then just the way they've brung the program up, you know, coached up with the experience he has with big receivers and everything like that, you know. It makes me feel consciously secure about where I'm going and who I'm going to be coached by.
What is the University of Illinois getting in Davon Grant?
Well, first and foremost, you're getting a great young man. You're also getting a kid that I feel like is ready to play and contribute right away physically. You know, I know he's got some work to do. He's going to put that work in when he graduates early and goes to U of I, but, you know, I wouldn't put him out of the realm of possibility for him to be playing early. He's going to continue to get progress as a route runner, but in terms of his ball skills, his breakaway speed, his ability to make plays after the catch, second to none.
Also today, Oregon's Josh Crandall signed with Illinois State. Crandall graduated from Oregon last spring. He had a ceremonial signing with Oregon at that time, but Crandall was gray-shirted. He delayed enrolling and delayed starting his eligibility clock. Crandall played tight end and defensive end at Oregon. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Our phone bank with the state treasurer's office is underway. You see them with the headsets. They're helping you find any unclaimed cash or property. They'll be here all night, so give them a call. The number is at the bottom of your screen.
As we head through the rest of the evening tonight, a clearing sky on the first warn interactive radar from Rockford, Glass and More, quickly dropping our temperatures down. A couple flurries can't be completely ruled out roughly before midnight tonight, but afterwards a clearing sky down near or just below zero, wind chills down closer to -15. We'll see a short rebound heading into Friday.
Thanks, Jordan.
We'll see you tonight at 6.